welcome to the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast. This week's episode is sponsored by Patreon member Mike Schwartz. Reminder, registration is open for Discat Presents the Battle of Saratoga 23. This week we have Alex, Jason, Randy, Corey, and Jaimen. Evan will be on probably after Prospect Dubs. Before we begin, I just wanted to share some really big news. I got an email today that I think you all will appreciate. I'll just read the email. Yeah, it's good stuff. It says the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast made it to Million Podcast 10 Best Disc Golf Podcast list. And the email says, "Hi, Pat. I emailed regarding your podcast, the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast, which was selected by Million Podcasts as one of the top 10 disc golf podcasts and top 10 throwing sports podcasts on the web. I did not realize that there was a category for throwing sports on the web. Then there's a couple of links which I will not touch for penalty of death. It says, we'd greatly appreciate a brief mention of these lists on your website or blog. We've also created a badge for you to share with your audience. You can display it on your website or post it on social media to showcase this amazing milestone. Please let me know if you can do the needful. Best, Vineet Argwal, Customer Success Manager, Founder, Million Podcast." What do you think of that?
We made it.
Mm-hmm. Take that, Discus Monthly.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder where the boys, our boys, the Ace Pop podcasts are.
I don't know if they're in the top 10. I don't even know if they qualify as throwing sports, do they? I don't know. It just reminds me, like the first couple of years I did this, there was some kind of list, BuzzFeed list or something like that, and it would have, and I posted on the Facebook page kind of as a goof. It would show the podcast at like 7th or 8th out of the top 10. Was it BuzzFeed? Is that who does a bunch of lists?
Yeah, sounds familiar, yeah.
I'm just going to see, because every year it moved up. Oh, yeah, here it is. FeedSpot. That's what it was. 20 best disc golf podcasts you must follow in 2025. Oh, and we're number 1.
Really?
Yeah. The Upshot's number 2. Disc Golf Show number 3. Disc Golf Audio number 4. The Disc Golf Podcast number 5. Zen Disc Golf at 6. On the Box with Dixon Jowers number 7. Slapping Discs KC Disc Golf Reviews is 8. Pro-Am Disc Golf 9. And Ladies of the Chains is 10. So what do you think of that? I mean, it's funny because every year it seemed to start at the bottom, but now number 1, baby.
I mean, I thought I just said we made it, but I didn't realize that we already did.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Well, honestly, I think the first year it only had like the top 10 and there were only 7 or 8 and we were 8th of the top 10, even though there were only 8. So I think just from being grandfathered in. Mind you, if somebody from the Upshot types in from their computer, it would probably have them as number 1. It would be my guess, but that's speculation. Oh, and look at this. Hosts. It says Jason, Alex, Jaimen, Corey, Cook, Randy, and Evan as hosts.
Oh.
Producer Network, HVDG, because that's what I just put that for the...
Wait. Am I the only one with the full government name?
Yeah.
What the hell? They're listening.
Yeah. Email is blanked out at gmail.com. Since May 2019, average length 115 minutes. Apple rating 5.5. It says video podcast YouTube, but technically we are on YouTube, but it's literally just a picture of the logo with audio waves, whatever. It's like a wave file, essentially. So, and I don't think any of you guys have any either, but I have no desire to be on video.
Nah.
But yeah, no, that's cool. I haven't checked that feed spot. I think Todd Martin sent me that a while back, like years ago. And I think we were top 5 or something. And now we're number 1. We're number 1. And I wanted to talk about the new rules going to effect in January 1st, I imagine. I don't think we should go over them all tonight or even try to. I think we got time. Why not just do 1 or 2 of the rules, and just kind of see how it goes.
Yeah, that sounds great.
We could always talk about it, the next time or even later if we have time at the end kind of thing. So it says the official rules of disc golf and competition manual for disc golf events updated for 2026. Changes go into effect January 1st, 2026. I read through them. I didn't go through them in detail, but I did read through them and there's a lot. I think we should cover everyone except for the team disc golf. I don't think that part is...
Agreed.
Yeah, but other than that, I think everything else should get at least a mention. So did anybody read through these? And is there any one particular rule that anybody wants to start with?
I skimmed through it, but if we're going to try to go through it, why not just start at the top?
Okay. I'll read the changes and then just tell me what you guys think. The official rules of disc golf, it says there's 5 major changes. The first one, 801.02 enforcement, thrower no longer votes on determination. Among the challenges we face in enforcement of the rules are players refusing to make a call because they claim they're given the benefit of the doubt, and players attempting to lobby their group for a favorable determination after a throw goes, for example, out of bounds. Corey? This change improves the situation by making it clear that there is no benefit of the doubt concept, but only tie goes to the runner. It further limits the ability of a player to lobby their group on their behalf by excluding the thrower from the initial group vote. Finally, it makes it very clear that determinations are group votes and that voting is a required action under the rules. We have made some changes to the language of this update pursuant to feedback we received during public comment. This change also changes a couple of the QAs. So it's 801.02K. When the flight position or status of a disc is questionable, the determination is made by group vote. 1. All players, excluding the thrower, must participate in the first vote. The option with the most votes is the determination of the group. 2. The thrower may briefly state their opinion, but may not argue or lobby the group for an outcome. A thrower who argues or lobbies for an outcome has committed a courtesy violation. See 812 courtesy. 3. If there is a tie after the first vote, the thrower then must vote in order to break the tie. And 4. Players may abstain from a group vote if and only if they were not physically present. Otherwise, abstaining from a group vote is a courtesy violation. See 812 courtesy. There's a lot crossed out, mostly the Q&A stuff. But what are our thoughts there?
It's interesting that you can abstain from the vote if you're not physically present.
Wasn't there something recently with that?
Holland Hanley, right? Or Allie Smith.
Yeah, Allie Smith.
She was like taking a moment away from a situation, and then it came time for her to vote, and she's like, I wasn't there.
And there was only 3 people, right?
Yeah, that was the big part. I do think it's funny that they're like trying to clarify something, and so they immediately use a baseball metaphor, which will only be understood in the United States.
Yeah.
I think it's a fine change. Like, obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, not all people will like instinctually vie for themselves, even if they know they're wrong. But like, I think it makes sense that the thrower is able to like state their case initially, and then from there, leave it up to the group.
Yeah, I think the best way I've ever seen an OB ruling handled was Scott Howard on hole 10 at FDR one time. He walked up, looked at it, he goes, I know what I think, and then just walked away and waited for everybody else to think about it. And then everybody just kind of said what they thought at the same time, and we went on. I don't remember who it was for or anything like that, but that's how that should work, essentially, I think. I do like getting the player involved out of this situation. I have had situations where the guy tries to rally for himself a little too much, and it just kind of makes everything icky.
Saying the thrower may briefly state their opinion but not argue or lobby the group for an outcome, do you think that is that like muddy water or...
Oh, it's the PDGA. It has to be muddy water. There's no other way.
You know what I mean? Like, at what point does that stop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that would be my only concern.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just stating my opinion that it is, I could see it. It's not cut and dry enough, I guess, is the way I look at it. Could be a lot more just the player can't say their opinion because they don't have a vote. It shouldn't matter. And when they do have an opinion, it's their vote. So that's how they would do it anyways, if that makes any sense.
Also, in K, they cross out the part where it says, when a group cannot reach a majority decision, the ruling is based on the interpretation that is most beneficial to the thrower. It sounds like they're just trying to get rid of that whole... Because that's probably one of the more common phrases I've heard on the disc golf course. You know, always give it to the benefit of the player kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which technically is like tie goes to the runner.
Yeah, it's just a different way of saying it.
Although their tie goes to the runner thing is just the explanation section is not like in the actual rule code.
What do they have over there? It's like curling, right? I don't know how that works as far
cricket?
as cricket. Yeah, cricket. Curling. What's curling?
Curling's in Canada. Also an international
It's like
sport.
shuffleboard, but on ice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with the broom.
Yeah.
And the home and all that. Okay. Yeah, the stone and the home. Okay, I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
The house. Yeah.
Yeah, the house. Yeah. You call it the house, I call it home. No, but that's another... I'm throwing baseball in there again. I don't know how that works, though. I know you like run back and forth and such, but I don't think it's the same. So you're right. There's really no equivalency other than baseball. And so us and the Canadians are the only ones that don't know what the hell's going on. Jason, you have any thoughts on any of this?
No, I mean, it makes sense. I think it clears up the commonly misused benefit goes to the player kind of thing. So, but yeah, if there's typically foursomes, then 3 players make a decision. I think more than often those 3 players are going to make the right decision.
I just wonder, what exactly does not present mean? We talked before about, everybody following in a straight line behind everybody else to the exact spot for everybody. We're searching for everybody's discs and all that. But like, does not present mean, you were 10 steps away and you didn't have a good angle? Or is not present, you were taking a bathroom break? Or there's just always these little potential opportunities for interpretation that if I was drawing up the rules, I would try to write out as many of them as possible.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, I'm not present most of the time, but I'm still there.
Sorry if I missed it. Sorry.
What's that?
Where's the language about being present?
Okay, so this is
Number
4. Players may abstain from a group vote if and only if they are not physically present. Otherwise, abstaining from a group vote is a courtesy violation. See 812. Courtesy.
It does clarify it a little bit with physically.
Oh, you know what? I opened up the wrong link. PDGA really needs to update their articles, because the first one that came up when I searched it was the proposed rule changes, which didn't change that.
I put a link in Zencaster, but it does say in this, it said at the end, we have made some changes to the language on this update pursuant to feedback that they received during public comment. So that might be one of them.
That's definitely one of them, because I had the other one open and it only had K through 3.
And it actually, on number 4, it says abstaining from a group vote is a courtesy violation. I think that was the initial thing. But okay, so that example we talked about earlier with the 2, it was 3 girls on a card. If one of them wasn't there, in this case, then it's only down to the one person, right, who called the infraction, right? If I'm remembering correctly what happened. The one girl called the infraction. The other one couldn't second it or vote on it because she wasn't present. Isn't that how that went?
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
So with a vote situation like this, I think they're more referring to situations that, require a vote. And if you don't have a second, I don't think you can get to a vote. Yeah, this is specifically talking flight position or status of a disc is questionable. So this is something like a foot fault is not something that would be affected by this.
Okay.
Right. So this would be like if somebody throws a disc and it's out of bounds the whole way, pretty much becomes really close and then stays out of bounds. The thrower thinks, oh, I think it crossed in bounds, but only one person was watching and says, no, I don't think it did. It's kind of the scenario where if the other people weren't paying attention or watching, then it's going to come down to that one person.
And in that case, you don't necessarily have to be present physically. You could be over at your disc and still see the flight and make a guess or an assumption based on your point of view. It isn't like a foot fault where you would think you'd have to be right there. So
yeah, there's a lot of times where it's hard to watch the disc because you'd be in a cluster of trees or something. So then you kind of just have a lot less to go on when you have to make that decision based on the sound of the disc. I'm pretty sure it would.
Definitely sounded like water to me.
Yeah, hey, that does happen. Sometimes if you listen, you can kind of tell where a disc landed.
Yeah, I mean, if you throw it over water and you distinctively heard it hit a rock or something before it went into the water, you don't necessarily have to see that, especially if the other side is covered in rock.
Yeah, if you throw a disc and all the trees are, say, in the fairway and you hear a loud bang, like it hit a tree, and then you find it out of bounds, obviously the disc was in bounds when it hit the tree. So you could argue that just based on sound.
Anything else on that? Thrower no longer votes on determinations. Well, let's try to do one more rule question and then we'll move on. The next one in order, 802.03, excessive time. More time allotted on the fairway, better defining when the clock starts. The 30-second rule is outdated and an update to the amount of time needed to complete a throw is necessary. This change keeps throws from the teeing area, drop zones, and putting area, throws that can be rehearsed and predicted in practice, the same while allowing extra time for all other shots. This reflects the way the modern game is actually played. It also better defines when the clock begins running by introducing the concept of addressing your lie. One piece of this rule has been reworded for clarity. So A, players must ensure pace of play and must not take excessive time to make a throw. B, a player has taken excessive time if they have not thrown within the time allotted to them under this rule. C, players are allotted time to throw as follows. 1. When making a throw from the teeing area, 802.04, a drop zone, 802.05C, or within 20 meters of the target, the player has 30 seconds to throw. 2. When making a throw from any other lie, the player has 45 seconds to throw. D. The allotted time begins after 1. The previous player has thrown, and 2. The player is next in the throwing order, and 3. The player has determined the location of their lie, and 4. The player has addressed their lie, and 5. The playing area remains clear. E. A player has addressed their lie at the point when they begin taking any action indicating that they are preparing to throw. Such actions include, but are not limited to, 1. Marking the lie with a mini marker disc. 2. Placing a supporting point on the lie. 3. Executing a pre-shot routine. 4. Using a rangefinder. 5. Checking the wind. 6. Clearing casual obstacles. 7. Testing the ground and footing. F. If the playing area is no longer clear, players must not throw. The player's allotted time is reset once the playing area is clear again. G. A player who engages in undue delay arriving at their lie or is present at their lie but refuses to address their lie has taken excessive time. And then they just changed the lettering on stuff that was already in there. But H. A player who takes excessive time receives a warning for the first violation. A player who takes excessive time after having been warned for it during the round receives 1 penalty throw. See 811F5 for a player who is absent when it's their turn to throw. And then I, a player may request extra time from the group to take a bathroom break. If the player does not return in a reasonable time, the player is considered missing for the hole and receives a score of par +4 on the hole. Please, somebody else talk.
Is the bathroom thing not new?
No, that's one of the old rules that they just relettered.
Was there discussion about allowing I can call it timeout, and that didn't make it in?
I think that's later.
Oh, okay. I thought that, and this is probably not helpful to the discussion, but I thought that the timeout thing was for a bathroom break. I did not realize that was in the rules.
I don't know if that made it in, but that was definitely in consideration for the upcoming rule changes.
Yeah, I don't think the timeout thing made it, but I remember a few years ago when the bathroom thing made it in because there was a controversial call. I don't remember. It may have been Paul Macbeth and Johnny McRae. There was a card and one of them had to use the bathroom and there was some contention about whether they were allowed to per the rules or not. So the PDGA the year after that changed the rule where the card could agree that you could go to the bathroom.
There is 2 time extensions per player at Pro Majors and Elite Series event as far as the time. But that's only for Majors and Elite Series. And that's just time extensions, not necessarily timeouts for bathrooms or something.
But as far as the new rule, I think it definitely makes sense, obviously, to have more time when you're figuring something out from the fairway, especially if you're not in the fairway. I like that they did a good job at defining when the time begins because, some people are going to be like, oh, well, I wasn't checking the wind. I was smacking my hand with my chalk bag and just watching where the dust flew. So, yeah, good rule change, I'd say.
Yeah, the only thing I would reword for section D1 says the allotted time begins after, and then they have one the previous player has thrown. I think I would change that to finished throwing or finish their throw. Because in theory, if you're on the tee, I throw a roller on a roller hole, or let's say we're not on the tee, let's say we're in the fairway, and Corey, you're already at your lie and you use your rangefinder while I'm lining up. I throw my roller. If you're next, technically your clock starts then.
Yeah.
I think it should be whenever my throw finished.
Does anybody not like the additional 15 seconds from outside C2?
I don't understand why that's where they draw the line.
I was actually going to ask, and this might show my ignorance of the rules, but is C2 defined anywhere else in the rules for anything other than statistics? 20 meters versus 10 meters for the, putting.
They're easing it in so they can use it to move the 10 meter thing back to 20 meters. This is where it starts.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think it's the first time that there's any real use for it. You know what I mean? Besides statistics. I don't know if it's mentioned in the rules anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, because anything that has to do with C2 is usually defining what you can't do inside C1.
Yeah, it's essentially just the fairway. You're just not going to treat it that way. Most players don't.
Yeah, it does add more complexity when you're trying to explain the rules to somebody new. Now you got to explain the whole circle. They should move the C1 to 20, keep it clean.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Because then if you're running a B tier, you're going to go out and mark C1. Now, you're going to contemplate, do I need to mark 2?
Yeah, and it's I don't understand why that distinction's right there. If you're in C2 on a wooded course, there's a very good chance that you're going to be dealing with branches and stuff the same way you would if you were halfway down the fairway, as far as moving stuff is concerned and getting your stance and all that kind of stuff. So
that's true. Yeah. It's I think intended for putting, but that I think in practice, there's some nasty thorns and bushes that are 20, 30 feet away from the pin. And you end up in those and now you only have 30 seconds.
Yeah. It feels like a rule that's meant for the Disc Golf Pro Tour, but unfortunately everybody else has to follow it.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking as you were saying that.
There's some tournament holes where the tee pad's in C2.
Or close to it, at least.
Oh, shit, yeah, duh. I'm such a fucking idiot today. I'm going to stop.
But there is drop zones that are within C2.
Yeah.
That's true.
So then you only get 15 seconds. I like the intent. I just think that it's too much ruling, too many rules. Just got to simplify it somehow. Give everybody 45 seconds or just keep it simple. The more circles we add and different, all right, it's 30 seconds here, 45 seconds there. It just makes the sport less clean and professional to me.
Yeah. You got to walk off circle 2 to see if you got an extra 50. It's going to to take you 35 seconds to walk it off to find out if you get an extra 15.
I was going to say that's addressing your lie. You're already halfway through if you're wrong.
So if I ask Jaimen if I'm in C2 and he takes 12 seconds to answer me, does that count for or against me?
He gets an excessive time warning.
I think that they should potentially change how your time starts with, what does it say, when your time starts when the other player finishes their throw or something like that?
Yeah, previous player is thrown.
It should be more along the lines of when the other player has picked up their lie.
They pick up their mini or something like that?
Yeah, I played with a guy who brought 3 discs to every shot he threw. I don't think my time should start. Not that, and it's ever going to get that nitpicky, but I don't think my time should start while somebody else is picking up their disc because he's already thrown.
Well, I think when their disc comes to rest is when the clock for the next person starts.
Well, to Jaimen's point, that person might be a type that watches their entire flight, waits for it to stop, and then kind of cleans up the area that they were just throwing from. So, taking that few extra seconds of him cleaning up his area before you
I see that.
kind of step up.
Yeah. Or, even like throwing your chalk bag back in your bag or putting your putters back, that can be kind of a complicated process for a couple seconds, and it seems unfair if you're playing with somebody like that to have that kind of thing.
They could just word that as completed their throw, meaning the disc has stopped and they've done all that. You know what I mean? That's kind of the completion of your throw. You can kind of get out of the way, I guess, is the...
Not to sort of throw a wrench in this whole conversation, but I think your time starts when you address your lie. The allotted time begins after the player has addressed their lie. So presumably if somebody else is, on the T-pad still, you can't have addressed your lie until they're off the T-pad and clear.
Right, but I was going to a scenario where, like, if you're both in the fairway, right, and I'm lining up, and I use Corey's example, he's checking his shot out with a rangefinder, like he's ready to go right after I throw, and then I throw. When does the clock start?
Yeah, I mean, like, playing area remains clear also kind of deals with that. I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
I've
see
had
that.
people, like, air quotes, address their lie while I was on the T-pad. I've, like, thrown a shot and turned around and somebody was lining up their shot, like, in my face.
That's just annoying. But
Facing backwards in the T-pad?
I was facing backwards on the T-pad because I was on the front of it.
Do you remember that in Syracuse?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. Inside joke that I guess only I was on the inside floor.
Was there any other comments on the actual rules? No. Since we were on this kind of topic, I saw a thing that Owen Scoggins accidentally picked up Valerie Menduanu's gimme putt disc during the playoff at Ledgestone. Does anybody know what happened there? Or if that was any
You
kind
said
of
it.
deal?
I heard it, but I did not see it, so I have no opinion.
Yeah, I read
unfortunately.
less information than you just said on a tweet.
Yep.
I didn't know whose disc it was. So
It was Valerie. They were in a playoff, and everyone's always like, "Oh, it's basically match play. Oh, but match play, match play, match play." And I think Own, like, basically she made her putt, and then Valerie's was a gimme, so she just picked it up and gave it back to her. And I think she said that she asked, and Valerie's like, "Yeah, pick it up." And then Nate Hine will come in, and he's like, "What are you doing? You still got to finish the hole. You can't be picking this up."
Oh,
didn't that happen recently where somebody picked up Calvin's disc, or last season maybe? Was that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I just remember the image of Simon's face. He was like, "Whoop," because he
That was
wasn't
a
involved.
mini. I think that was was it a
No,
disc?
it was Calvin something else picked up Calvin Heimberg's disc maybe.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
picked it up just to, like, because he thought it was not in place still.
I think he thought it was his.
Yeah, he thought he was gonna. Did he mark it or something?
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
right. They were
remember.
right next to each other.
Yeah, he just picked up the wrong one, and then he realized what he did, and he froze, and he was like, "Oh crap!"
I can't remember who that was.
But he didn't, like, finish the hole out with it. Like, neither did Own. She kind of just picked it up. But, like, the thought was that she was intentionally finishing the hole for Valerie. And I think that was, like, one of the rules is that, like, there's verbiage in there as far as, like, intention. So, like, did she intentionally pick up the disc, or did she intentionally pick up the disc? But could you imagine how garbage it'd be if the playoff ended right there because she got penaltied on a pickup?
Yeah. For everybody who hasn't watched the clip, there's probably the most awkward disc golf moment I've ever seen of Des Redding and Ian Anderson just, like, in the booth not saying anything because they're like, because they're both like, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Like, I think they were trying to get at, like, this playoff should probably be over. but they didn't say anything.
And it was so cringe watching that. Like, just move, put the camera
terrible.
somewhere else. Go put the whole 18 live stream up or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, why do you just got these two jabronis sitting on a table for like legit like 45 seconds of just being like, and not even, I don't even mean just like, like, because they were just acting like that. They were literally just saying that, just like 45 seconds with the camera in their face.
Yeah, for a little bit more context on that, Des Redding at one point, as an announcer, I guess, like, called out Kristen Lett for like her daughter was with her and she wasn't caddying for her, so she shouldn't be with her. That might have been part of it. She didn't want to get into that kind of shitstorm again. But yeah, it was awkward. I feel like the producer was like getting a glass of water or something at the time and just
You're like, oh, you just give me, so just step away real quick. I gotta take a piss.
Since when has the guy from Jethro Tull been announcing, though?
Right? Since 2012.
Okay.
Calling disc golf on 1 foot.
Yeah. Ian Anderson.
It's a joke for all you Jethro Tull fans.
Is that like in that one song?
One of the like logos for the band is a silhouette of him playing flute with like 1 foot on the ground like a flamingo. No big deal.
I just saw that today, so I thought I'd bring it up. So, Jason, we just did a bunch of rules stuff. You want to do a rules question or no?
Sure, I'll keep up the...
Okay.
I don't know how many weeks it's been, but...
Are we delaying for next week, et cetera, for the rest of them?
I figured we got until January, and
No.
each week we're going to have something else. So if we knock out one or two, because we still got the MVP Circuit Challenge, Rally Rochester, want to do a NEFA update. So that we got a bunch of other stuff to get to. So we'll definitely keep going down the list. We got until the end of the year. So before you do a rules question, what did you think? Did you listen last week with the one from the newsletter?
Yeah, I thought that was a good question.
Yeah, no, I did too. What were your thoughts, though, as far as nobody else agreed with the 4? What were your thoughts on that?
So I'm trying to remember the question. So they thought they threw out of bounds, then discovered that they didn't, and they played it out.
Yeah, everybody assumed it went OB, so they threw another disc. Then somebody found it, and then they proceeded to play out on that disc, the found disc. So they got 1 penalty stroke for a practice throw.
Yeah, so I think because it was never declared lost, they didn't get the 3 minutes to look for it. So it was just considered OB. So those were like practice throws then. Is that how? So then they added...
Yeah, there was 1 throw counted as a practice throw. So they gave him a 4. But these guys were saying it should have been a misplay and a 5.
Well, I was thinking at least, like, I don't know, after re-listening to it, I thought, I'm like, oh, I get it now. But then now talking about it again, I think I'm back to where I was before. I feel like the act of re-teeing inherently means that you've declared the disc lost.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Wasn't it OB?
Yeah, it wasn't re-tee, it was throw from where they thought it was last inbounds.
Yeah, they thought it was OB. It turned out it was inbounds, and they found it.
Oh, so they did not re-tee.
No, they played it as though it was out of bounds, yeah.
Okay, never mind. Apparently, I don't remember what we talked about last time after re-listening to it.
Yeah, I think like a parallel that would have the same ruling would be if it went out of bounds and they played from the drop zone, but they weren't supposed to play from the drop zone or something like that. So it was a practice throw, right?
Yeah, I'm back to understanding the original, agreeing with what that the rule said.
Yeah, I'll tell you, a situation kind of similar to that happened at the tournament over the weekend where it was in a spot where we thought we should be able to see it out of bounds, but we couldn't. And I looked super hard inbounds just to make sure it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think I would tend to agree with the rule. I mean, it's weird because like in order to make that call that it's OB, the group has to be confident that it's OB. So they were confident and they were wrong. But I think in the nature of like the spirit of the sport, you're playing the lie as it should have been. And that extra throw that you had was a practice throw. But Justin Muccelli asked me a question following the episode airing. He said, can you even call a provisional from the lie from the OB line? Provisional would express that you think your disc could be inbounds, which would invoke the lost disc rule, which would make it T. And in like that scenario, I think he's right. Like if there's a chance that your disc could be lost or it could be OB, then it's not definitive that the group thinks it's OB. It's the disc isn't found then.
But does that go back to where if you threw it into a lake, you're not going to find it anyways, but you know it's OB?
So I think the group would have to be confident enough to say that it's not worth looking for because it went OB. I think if you're looking for the disc, then you shouldn't be like, well, we didn't find it, so it must have been OB, unless it's very clear, like a mine kill hole 6, where if it's in bounds, you're going to find it.
So are you obligated to look for 3 minutes?
I think if you can look at the fairway, however long it takes you to just look and see that it's not there, you don't get the 3 minutes. If you're looking for 3 minutes, then it's lost.
Right.
I think if they had looked for 3 minutes, couldn't find it, then it would definitely be lost. And that'd be a different scenario from what the question was.
Yeah, that was a good question. That's a kind of a tricky one.
Yep. Course designers, don't make that hole.
All right, you guys ready for rules?
Send it.
Ready.
So Justin Muccelli, he's feeling pretty good about running Pro League. Maybe not as much after last week, but he likes these Safari things. So he hosts a C tier, and being a math guy, he does a layout at J Park. It's 14 holes. It is the prime numbers divided by this Fibonacci series. So sends everybody out, shotgun start. Corey doesn't do math that well, so he goes to hole 30, and he's actually supposed to be on hole 25. But he doesn't know that, so he gets to the hole, 2-minute warning, start, horn goes off. He tees off, the rest of the card tees off. Then he realizes that there's 5 people on the card. He says, oh crap. And he consults with the card and realizes that he's on the wrong starting hole. He's supposed to start on the hole in front of them, which is 25. So he runs up, grabs his disc, goes to the next hole where his 3 other players are waiting for him. They all teed off, so he kind of missed that, and they decide to give him par plus 4 on the hole. Does his throw on the first hole count?
Yes.
I think so. I think if he only threw 1, he gets a 1-stroke penalty. I think if he, well, the rest is hypothetical. That's what I think.
It's the same thing as if you went to the wrong hole. It's just if you go from 1 to 2 when you're not supposed to play 2, it's just you went to 2 as your very first hole instead of anything else.
Any other thoughts?
Yep. Is that considered one action? Being late for the hole costing you 4 strokes and throwing your shot? Is that one action or is that 2? Because you can't be doubly penalized.
I was thinking about that too.
I would consider that one action.
All right. So PDGA 811F9. So 811F is the types of misplay. So you have an incorrect lie, failure to complete a hole, non-sequential play, absent, missing, omitted hole, incorrect hole, extra hole. And number 9 is wrong starting group. The player has begun play in a group other than the one to which they were assigned. The player must find their assigned group to begin play. Any throws made by a player in the wrong group are disregarded. The player is subject to penalties for being absent from their assigned. So Jaimen's question is correct.
Right on.
It's a rules question.
I like it. That's a good one.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Didn't really think about it. The whole concept of like you can't be doubly penalized is a really big stickler for these sorts of rules questions.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, when you go out of bounds, that's like a free punch.
No.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, don't do that, but
I mean, depending who went OB, they might be giving out a free punch against a tree and lose that fight at the time, or the ground.
We're going to be talking about rules for the next few weeks, I imagine. So, I mean, I don't know how many you've got like in your pocket, so
I just came up with that one as you guys were talking, so
don't feel any pressure for the next few weeks because we at least have some buffer, but I love them. So
yeah, I mean, I'm going to run out pretty quick.
Yeah, and if anybody has any, even if it's a simple one, I think it's a good thing to keep doing because it's a simple way to remind people, if nothing else, just to check the fucking rule book, In the few weeks that we've done this, how many weird rules have we like dispelled that people are like, oh, I thought you could do this,
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good discussion.
Yeah.
I was just thinking to myself, I should carry a little notebook so that when weird things happen during tournaments and questions come up, that I can have something to talk about.
If only you had some kind of electronic device that you could take notes on.
What am I, Dick Tracy? Relax. That's
your watch.
Yeah, I mean, if any of you guys think of any like weird scenarios that could come up, we could talk through the rules. Because that's usually just how I think of the rules questions. I'm like, okay, let me think of something that would happen, and I would have to like think about it or look up the rule.
I've always had one that was very similar to kind of the one we did last week. The first time I played MA1, it was at Mighty Gaw, and I played hole 18, and I threw my shot, and we were having difficulty finding it. One dude was like, well, I know it didn't go past this spot up here, but he's like, I'm not checking that far up because I'm not going to look up there if nobody else from the card is. So I ended up having to throw from the drop zone, and we walked up after I threw my shot, and of course it was right past where he had said it was. There was no way it was that. And I was like, you motherfucker.
Yeah. Never trust anybody who's that certain about anything.
One thing I'm never certain of is distance. I always overcompensate and undercompensate because I just don't know.
Yeah. Also, for anybody who hasn't played Camp-Gaw, hole 18 is like 200 feet of vertical. It's absolutely crazy. Like your first shot's going like 500-600 feet, like on a fine throw. So like, yeah, trying to figure out the distance your disc went on that hole is like basically impossible. You just have to find it.
Exactly.
Yeah, trusting yourself that much is interesting choice.
Well, I don't think I've played MA1 since. Speaking of Pro League, it was at J Park this week, right?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Yeah, so we played a Safari layout, the J Muccelli layout, It pulled from a couple of classic Lasasso Safari holes. In 3 or 4 instances, it combined 2 holes to make a longer hole and kind of had a little bit of a wacky flow through it that you kind of had to be aware of. But yeah, I think we all kind of finished in the dark, and I forget what the place was. I'm pretty sure me and Justin both came in dead last at +3.
Yeah, you guys were at 63, Jason in third at 62, Justin Park in second at 61, and Adam Nelson, your winner, at 60. And the FPO division was Megan Mercier, your winner.
Yeah, I had some really good card mates. I played with Justin Park and Megan, and they were great, but we did not find the layout that intuitive. And out of the 3 of us, we had a total of 6 misplays with 7 strokes. So
Yikes.
yeah, so we finished hole 9, and there was a hole that is 10 to 30. And so I think kind of went up to that thinking, all right, this is the next one. All through our drives, and then there was like a casual group playing hole 30. So we're just like waiting there, just waiting, talking. And then we're like, oh, it must be 12 and 13 after this. Yeah, that makes sense. And then I was looking through the score app on PDGA, and then the next hole wasn't 12. And I was like, wait, that's weird. And then I had realized that, oh, okay, this hole 10 to 30 is later in the round. It's not right now. So unfortunately, Megan had thrown a second shot. So she had a misplay with 2 strokes. Justin and I had a misplay with 1. So then we proceeded to 13, and we're like, okay, we're going to check from here on out, make sure we're playing the right one. So we kept checking. The first time we stopped checking, it was hole 21, which was not a hole we were playing. So we teed off on that, and poor Justin Park, he like literally parked the hole. And then so we're like halfway down the fairway, and I'm like, wait a second, I think this is a lot of extra holes. So I checked the thing again, and we weren't supposed to play that. So there was 3 more penalty strokes. So in total, we had 7 on our card. And despite all those penalties, I still beat Corey and Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make me feel any better about my round.
Would it have been better if it was the Fibonacci sequence? You think you would have done better as far as playing it right?
Yeah, because I think what hung us up was like you get in a flow, and those holes like just seem to fit sequentially. And if you play J Park enough or a lot, then it's easy just to not to question it. And we didn't have the TD on our card.
It's weird to backtrack.
Yeah, I liked the layout. It's just the flow of it was not intuitive. But yeah, I like that hole, the 10 to 30. It's a fun one.
Nice. Jason, did you play in any of Gall Green's, the Circuit Challenge, or the Rally of Rochester?
Nope. Did anybody play Gall Greens?
I don't think so. It's one of the ones I figured I'd at least mention.
I didn't check the final scores, but when I saw after round 1 that the 2 Brinsters had the same score, I thought that's kind of funny.
Well, there's only 4 divisions, so I can actually knock this one out pretty quick. The Gall Greens 13, Tyler McKinnon, tournament director, 58 players. MA2 was won by Trevor Lambert, shot a -4, beat Justin Vincenti by 1 stroke. Mike Best won MA50 by 1 stroke over Donald Collins. Leighton Brinster won MA1 with a -12, and Steve Brinster won MPO with a -20, beat Michael Wolf by 5 strokes.
So apparently his young son tying him was enough incentive for Steve to play better round 2 and win.
Yeah, they both shot a 47 in round 1. Leighton followed it up with a 49. Steve shot a 41. So, yeah, that probably was. You're probably exactly right.
I mean, he's got to be like proud and disappointed at the same time. If Heidi ever beats me, I'm going to be very proud and very ashamed. But
did you have anything else?
Not that I could think of, unless you guys got anything for me. I just got home like right before the podcast because work had some issues, and so still got a lot to do tonight. So I'm going to jump off. You guys are good. Oh, I just realized my rules question. It's prime numbers divided by Fibonacci times 10. In case anybody wanted to play that layout, I wouldn't recommend it. You're going to be all over the park. But that's it. I'm going to head out. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason. All right. This weekend was the MVP Circuit Challenge at Crandall Park. Because this was the MVP, Randy, you played AM1?
Yeah, there was no pro division.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the MVP Circuit Challenge at Crandall Park, Glens Falls, New York. Jacob Dunbar, tournament director. Amanda Dunbar, assistant tournament director. It's a 3-disc thing, right?
Yep. So it's 3 discs, similar to your trilogy challenges. Let me start from the fast one. It was a trace, but in Fission plastic. So it's not an overmold disc, which has had Fission for a long time. I think Fission is fairly new for the non-overmold discs, which is Streamline, which is like their other brand within the MVP umbrella. So that was like a 152 gram 11-speed driver. I threw it a couple times in the open field, and it absolutely bombed. It was a really cool disc.
Is that a new disc or?
No, the trace has got to be, I'm going to guess 4 years old at least. I definitely had one playing Worlds. So yeah, 4 or 5 years old. kind of their version of the Wraith is how I would describe it.
I think a couple of years ago they did a small run of fission traces on the Pro Shop, like pretty limited. I don't know the weights, but Randy's right, 152, and they definitely flew.
So the mid-range was the Uplink in like a speckly glow plastic. That's just a flippier mid-range. That one flew really nice, flew to its flight numbers, something like a -2 kind of turn. Putter was a Watt, which is similar to a glitch in its kind of profile. It's got kind of a flat edge to it, but it's very torque resistant. It flies with the angle you put on it is how I'd kind of describe it. Pretty good putter for a tournament like that because you can throw it pretty hard and get reliable flights out of it.
So we have 45 players. Looks like women's amateur 3, FA3 was Melissa Calabria, won that division by 4 strokes over Brianna Strathenke. MA3, mixed amateur 3, Eamon Foster shot a -4 to win. And this was only a one-rounder, right? We said?
Yep.
Is it any kind of modified layout, or is it just straight up how you would normally play it?
Nope, just regular Crandall.
Okay. So Eamon Foster beat Hans Hunsberger by 2 strokes with his -4. And Evan, you played MA2. Is that moving up, or is that a parallel? How does that work with normally MA40? What do we think there?
I mean, for me personally, when I made the switch to MA40, I was coming from MA3, and it felt like moving up because of playing longer tees. So it felt natural to kind of go to MA2. Not that it had a different layout or anything, but I feel like that's where I'd be playing if I wasn't playing MA40. Okay. And also, that's where Brian Monahan was playing, and Joe Caron and Peter Fitzisti, and it felt like where I should be.
Okay. I got a question for you before you tell me about your round. I meant to ask you about this. Once we're recording a new episode, I get blinders on. A few weeks back, you went to a Fish concert. And in the episode description, I said Evan was surrendering to the flow of some type 2 noodling. Did you ever read that?
I did see that, yeah.
What does that mean?
Surrender to the flow. There's it's either like a magazine or a web series. It might be a lyric. And when they talk about Fish songs, there's different types of jamming, type 1 and type 2. My drummer is the guy you need to talk to, but I think type 1 is when they're jamming within a song, but they're not really stretching outside of that. It's, they're improvising, but staying within that form. And then type 2 is where things get really weird and they just kind of like listen and somebody makes a change and then it can go into a completely, totally different direction. So
what about noodling? I think that was the word that I wasn't sure was offensive.
Oh, that just refers to like a guitar player kind of just jamming. That can be used as like oh man, that guy's just noodling. Like he's not really, Jaco Pastorius would say, he's just up there wiggling his fingers. Miles Davis would call him a no-playing piece of shit, but like
a Corey Feldman thing.
There's a great story in Miles Davis' autobiography about when he was opening for Steve Miller, and it's kind of funny, but no, noodling that's a fair way to talk about jam bands, like when they're kind of just making it up.
Well, I figured the fact that you came back on meant you weren't that offended, but it's one of those things that I've had in my back pocket. I keep forgetting to ask you about. What would Ian Anderson think of that phrase?
I don't know. He's British, so I don't know if it has the same connotation there. Actually, I wonder what the origin of the phrase noodling is in terms of music, but...
Well, now that I know that, how was your round?
Round was great. It was fun. I hadn't been to Crandall in a little while. When I first started playing, I was going up there a couple times to play for tags and stuff, and it's a great little park. I got there early and was checking out the discs and managed to get 3 purple discs. So that was my set. Through a little bit of practice. Actually, I'd played, the day before, I think. I played a lunchtime round at Prospect. Eric Struna came and met me. I had a Watt that I got from Zanchelli. I have my Randy Bemis signed uplink, and I have a handful of traces. I was bagging that for a while. Nothing in fission, but at least I could practice with those 3. So that was kind of helpful. I got to play with Brian Monahan and Joe Caron, and I got to meet Dean Ronaldo, and it was a beautiful day. We started on hole 3. I shot 2 down with 3 bogeys for a 3-way tie for 4th with Brian Monahan and Pete Fitzisti. That was allegedly an 887, although it won't count in the actual rating. There'll be one of those, I think they're like grayed out or whatever.
Yeah, it's an XC tier, right?
Yeah, exactly. Tournament was really well run. There were cookies and there were Sharpies available to mark your discs and a couple of practice baskets. I guess there was a doubles round. I don't know if Randy stayed after. I couldn't stay, so I assumed, tied for 4th in MA2. I guess I didn't really know if there was prizes, but I just took off, and then Brian messaged me later that he grabbed me an orange hex because apparently we did get prizes. So appreciate him for grabbing that. Yeah, it was fun. I was happy with my round, and it was a good time in the park.
That's pretty cool. 6-8 from your division, Jacob Dunbar, giving out the prize. You said you guys tied for fourth. Jacob Bethel and Dean Ronaldo tied for second, -3. And correspondent Joe Karen, your winner, at -7. Speaking of Joe Karen, him and Cody Canine shot a -8 at Shen Creek Dubs Week 20 and won there.
Speaking of Cody Canine, when we were walking to our hole, we saw Cody and Logan, and Logan was describing Crandall the way I talk about Prospect, having played it, over 200 times probably. And it's the kind of course where if you know the lines and kind of know what to throw. I think I probably jokingly asked Brian Monahan about 6 times if he had a zone I could use, but he didn't. So the discs were a little flippy, but not too crazy. It was fun.
Well, speaking of Joe Karen and Cody Canine, they both also shot a -7 at Cranmore Dubs League at Moreau.
Golly.
To win there. And Joe Karen came in first at the Glens Falls 2025-26 Tag League. I did not mark where they played. Does anybody know? He shot a -1. I didn't keep track of where it was, but yeah, so if I was still doing Player of the Week, I'm going to say it was probably Joe Karen this week.
He's got an early lead, definitely.
Yeah, I don't see anybody else on there 3 times. Plus winning his division in 3-disc challenge.
I took a page out of Randy's book he mentioned previously, and I just brought a little satchel bag with nothing in it but a mini and a water bottle and a towel, and it was perfect.
But not a nutsack.
Not a nutsack. No, I have the Axiom, I don't know what they call it, a cell maybe.
All right, so Randy, how about your round?
My round was super fun. I was planning to bring the kids because Kat had a bridal shower to go to. So I tipped off the Dunbars and they were super cool about it. Jacob actually put himself on my card along with not the Nelsons, Adam Nelson and Melissa Calabria. They're very used to my children and will put up with them. Luckily, didn't have the kids for the first 9 holes because Kat's bridal shower was much later in the day than she thought, and it was up in the Saratoga area. So I absorbed the children into the round like 9 holes in, which was kind of a good way to do it. But anyways, yeah, started off super hot, 3 birdies in a row, really liking the discs. Hole 4 is like a little funky one with some trees between you and the basket, and I decided to hit all of them and take a double bogey, almost right back to where I started. So hole 6 is like a tunnel and the basket is blind off to the right. And I will say a very well-designed hole because Adam Nelson threw it forehand. And right as it was disappearing from sight, I said, go in, having no clue exactly where the basket was, and then just chains. So I think if a hole is designed properly and someone throws a disc that looks like the perfect shape and like it just finds the basket, I just feel like that's like a perfectly placed basket on a kind of blind tunnel shot. So good job, Jaimen.
Did Jaimen build this course or something? Help design it?
I don't know. He put one basket in exactly the right spot, at least.
That's the only thing I did, I'm pretty sure. I just daydreamed ways of taking credit for everything else.
So kept playing pretty okay. The kids showed up and I actually managed to get most of the rest of my birdies after the kids had joined, which was great. Had a really good time. And I liked the discs too, although I immediately gave them away because Adam and Melissa both really liked one of them. So I made out of there with just a mid-range. And then, what did I get? I got a CTP disc and another disc for getting second. So, walked away with 3 discs anyways.
Nice.
Were people on your card putting with the uplink?
No, we were all putting with the putter.
I was putting with the putter, but I was like the only one. Everybody else on my card, and I don't think Brian Monahan threw the trace a single time.
Oh,
he didn't like it for his forehand.
No, I used the trace on backhands actually, like stalling hyzers on some of the more right angled shaped holes.
That sounds like some pro level moves.
Yeah, throwing a 11 speed on a 200 foot hole.
I'm taking notes. Stalling hyzer. Randy, did you say you stayed for doubles?
We got out of there after lunch and went to Common Roots, which was really nice. Met back up with Kat. So yeah, no doubles round for us. So I don't really know what the format was. I don't know if it was like random draw or whatever, but they moved it along really well. They ran a good tournament and they were already making pairs for people as we were getting out of there. So well run day.
Yeah, those Dunbars, they're becoming professionals at this.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you signed up on Disc Golf Scene, there was maybe a box where you could say whether you were interested, but it was nothing committed because I'm pretty sure it was cash. And if you had a partner, you could bring your own. And if you didn't, they were going to match you up maybe. But it didn't stick around either.
So it looks like tournament director Jacob Dunbar came in 4th place, shot a -3. The Tower of Power Jason Gorsage came in 3rd at a -4. Randy with a -6 came in 2nd. And your winner with a -8, Logan Aiken. Speaking of the Tower of Power, though, he won last week's Prospect Park dubs with Brandon Klein. They shot a -15. Were you at that one, Evan?
I think I played pickleball last week.
And the Tower Power Jason Gorsage teamed up with Dylan Marsing and shot a -11 at CPS Thursday dubs week 18. So he'd be right now pushing Joe Karen for second in that player of the week thing. Anything else about the MVP Circuit Challenge at Crandall Park? Like I said, it had 45 players. Not too shabby. All right. Jaimen, you played at the Rally of Rochester 10, driven by Tri-City Cars. Joel Dewhurst is your tournament director in Rochester, New Hampshire. Oh, not even like the New York version. Okay. Rochester, New Hampshire. Have you played this course before?
Wait, what? That wasn't Rochester, New York? Damn it, with their recycling of town names. I could have sworn you drove west.
I'm going to be honest. I considered going to this, and I thought it was the one in New York. So
I'm not going to lie. Is
I'm right with
Rochester,
you.
New Hampshire closer or farther?
I was going to say, it could actually be closer to you guys, right?
I'll tell you right now, it's not close, but I don't know.
I mean,
how far away
Rochester is like 3.5 from Albany. I don't know what that actually means for you, but
it is farther away. Glens Falls to Rochester, New York is 3 hours and 53 minutes. Glens Falls to Rochester, New Hampshire is like 4 on the dot. So it's like a 7-minute difference.
Oh, wow. So
it's 15 minutes different for me. It's basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, one accident, one deer crossing the road or a turtle.
A handful of red lights, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
134 players, though. So that's something.
Yeah.
Have you played this course before?
I've played one of them. I played Squamineganic. I was in Rochester. It's fun to say.
Yeah. When I was editing last week and you mentioned that, I was like, oh, I got to hear him say that again.
Everybody just put yourself on mute and say it like 3 times just for a second.
Squamineganic? Did I say it right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Or as the locals call it, Squam, because nobody's saying that twice. Yeah, it's a fun course. It's very wooded. Everybody in the area thinks it's one of the best courses in the state. I definitely think it's a good course. I wouldn't say it's one of the best ones in the state, but it is pretty solid. So the first 2 rounds were there, and then the third round was at Salmon Falls, which I do now think is the best course in the state. That was my first time out there, but it was a super cool course. There was camping available, which was really nice. So I drove out on Thursday, got a hotel the first night because they hadn't figured out camping yet, and then camped the next 2 nights at Salmon Falls. It was a great weekend. Sleeping at a disc golf course is amazing. Just kind of waking up and throwing my shoes on and going throw some holes. Salmon Falls' other defining feature is that the eastern side of their property is a river, and that river is also New Hampshire's eastern side. So if you throw a disc over the river, you're in Maine, which is possible. I think one of the guys on my card actually kicked into Maine on one of the holes.
This was one of those 1 round per day dealies?
Yep.
Okay, so not your favorite in that regard. But that's a destination type place, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's a very slow place. Rochester is a pretty sleepy town. There's not too much going on, so it was kind of nice to just be camping. The course is also like in the middle of freaking nowhere. It's only like 20 minutes from the middle of the city, but like when you're driving out there, you're like, this can't not be the right direction. It's like one of the rockiest roads I've ever had to drive over. Then when you get there, the course, it starts in a really big like sand mine. So a lot like the field out at Stonykill. It kind of looks like that, but it's much, much bigger. And the middle part of it has been used as like a dump for a long time. So there's still all the old mining equipment in it. There's giant piles of like concrete all over the place and wood chips. Corey, you would have liked it. There's like a small shooting range where there's just like a bench and then this one shot to shit safe.
Wait, was it bring your own gun?
Oh yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I was thinking, Corey would really like this place. It's like the Wild West out there. It was super cool. There's like a bus from the 70s, like in between hole 1 and 2 that I don't know if anybody lives in it, but it's got like full of supplies and stuff. It's just an absolutely wild piece of property with some really awesome holes. Yeah, so like the tournament itself, I played pretty well. I really grinded through my first 2 rounds. Squam is a course that it's got some simple birdies, but if you make mistakes on those holes, bogeys are just as present. I was never really able to take advantage of the simple birdies, and I had to kind of like carve some birdies out of the harder par 4s and the harder back 9 in general. But my putting's been warming up a little bit, so I was able to get up and in the basket when I needed to most of the time and just kind of stay relevant, I guess, for the first 2 rounds. I shot like 3 under and then 2 under, which, isn't anything crazy, but I was able to kind of keep in the fight. And then the 3rd round at Salmon, which since I camped there, I was able to wake up and play the course every morning. I was the most prepared for that one. I shot super well on that, just one off the hot round for the day. My putting was feeling really good, but my drives were just where they needed to be on, I'd say 17 out of the 18 holes. My drive was exactly what I needed it to be. So I was able to finish with a super hot round and drive home happy for 4 hours.
What was the par on that last one?
I have no
Par
idea.
62. So
Okay.
you shot 10 down?
52. Yeah. The par was 62, but I was feeling like I wanted to think about the course pro par. So I tried to think about everything like it was a par 3. There was one par 5 on that course, maybe 2. I think only one. But a lot of the par 4s were eagleable. There was one guy did have an eagle on our card, and he almost got a second one. So it was definitely in the cards to, shoot down there near that pro par mark.
Is that a common thing in Maine, soft par 4s?
Super common.
Okay.
Super. Yeah. I actually warmed up on a new course on Sunday morning in Maine, and I think I shot like 10 down on that one as well, completely blind. So yeah, it's a super common thing to see those really wild pars out there. And like the main course, I walked off playing it blind with 3 eagles, and I did not eagle 3 holes.
Do you think that's because it's pay to play and it makes you feel better about your round?
Yeah, I definitely think that's part of it. It's wild how just like flipping that number around makes people happy, which is why I am announcing that Crandall is now par 72.
You beat me by 10, but I went under par.
Par is a social construct.
Yep. I'm definitely going to be back there next year, $10 camping a night. So if anybody wants to come with me, it's a really fun time.
How much is to be a member of the Rod and Gun Club?
Oh, you can just bring them. You got to show up a day early because they do close down the gun range because the gun range does shoot directly over the driveway to camping.
Was there any other locals out that way or no?
No, I was the only person from New York. Day one, when they announced my name, like nobody clapped because nobody knew who I was. So that's fucking rude, but
right.
When's the last time you did that?
Showed up and was the only person from New York.
Was there no one there playing that you knew?
Oh no, I knew like everybody.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, all right.
Yeah, just nobody from New York. I played with Coleman Marcus, who's a guy I've played with a whole bunch.
He's the one that looks like a cop, right?
Yep.
I see him all the time. I think I played with him at Bro, but he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's his dad is like New England disc golf royalty, Daniel Marcus. He's a Masters player. I think he's in his 60s now. He's been competing against Tim as long as Tim's been in the area. So 20 years, that kind of thing. They're one of those families. It's kind of like having the last name Brinster.
I see Ravis Marcons Craig came in 5th in MP50 last cash.
Wait, what?
Ravis Marcons Craig? You know him, right?
Shit. Yeah, I didn't even know he was there.
Oh, he's playing MP40. That's probably why. Yeah, it looks like they played the same layouts. Rose Shurtick, that's a name I've heard before. I don't know Rose or Ravis, to be honest. But she won the FPO division. I think she's come up here for a couple FPO tournaments. Landon Brooks, that name rings a bell for some reason, and he came in 5th.
He's like 16, really strong Maine player.
Oh, so he's from Maine, and that must be from like Team Challenge or just reading all these names here.
Multi-time juniors world champion, if I remember correctly, at least once.
Every time his name comes up, I mention that I talked to him at the expo.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it, I did it again. Nice kid. He's into snowboarding, and I bought a wave from him.
So that sounds like it's going to be at least definitely next year. So that's cool. Tri-City Cars. Sounds like Corey's kind of company. Gun range and driven by Tri-City Cars.
Hell yeah.
And Corey's not there? What's up with that? What did you do this weekend, Corey?
I put 300 miles on my motorcycle and drove to Utica for my cousin's diaper party and then a friend's birthday party.
Your cousin's what?
A diaper party.
And what's that?
Okay, so first I have to ask, are you asking me just so I can elaborate?
I've never heard a diaper party.
See, that's what I was surprised at. When I first started talking to my friends out here, like, oh yeah, I'm going back to Utica for a diaper party. They're like, what is that? And I didn't realize that it was not that well known of a term.
Well, I also don't know chicken riggies and tomato pie either, so I'm not the best arbiter of what's hip and what's known. So
it's kind of like a baby shower, but I feel like typically they're more of like a Jack and Jill party, but for like new parents or soon to be parents.
Dude, you can't keep defining terms with terms that people don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what a Jack and Jill party is either, dude.
A Jack and Jill party is like a fundraiser for upcoming newlyweds. Like, you have it at like at a bar.
Does Utica have the most unknown terms in like the entire country? It's not that far away from me.
Utica might just be the hot spot for give me some money, I'm about to spend a lot of money type of things. But yeah, so a diaper party, I thought it was going to be more of like a a men and women thing, but it ended up being like at a men's club, and it was just like all the dudes. So like my cousin's friends, the uncles, the cousins, the male cousins, and whatnot.
When you say a men's club, you mean like a nudie bar?
No, I mean like a veterans and men's club, like an American Legion type of place.
Like a VFW?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you basically, it's expected that you come and you bring a box of diapers because diapers are expensive, and everyone gets different sizes because kids go through diapers so quickly.
So you have to coordinate, like, hey, you get the small, I'll get the medium, you get the large kind of thing, or you get the 6 months to a year, I'll get the 1 year to, whatever.
Yeah, Randy could probably correct on how they're labeled, if they're like ABC sizes or whatever. But yeah, they're basically, I bought one size, my dad bought a different one, and my brother bought, a different size.
Yeah, they're only prime numbers, actually.
The Fibonacci sequence, you have to know it in order to buy diapers.
Yeah, it's actually the hardest part about being a parent is having to learn the Fibonacci sequence.
So it's a baby shower for dudes, basically?
Kind of.
Were there any women there?
There might have been a female bartender inside, but
Okay,
I don't think she was part of the party.
Okay.
There's like door prizes. Like my uncle made a bunch of like apple moonshine, and there were some bottles of Fireball and stuff like that. And free Bud Light on tap. So yeah, sick.
Nice.
Wait, I have so many questions. Never mind. Let's move on. Well, I'm just thinking of a baby shower where like the expectant mother would like sit in the center of attention and open gifts, and like was it like that at all?
No, it was way worse or way better actually. My cousin was drunk. Yeah, there was food there. There was no like, oh, let's play some games, and although there was some cornhole there, but no, there wasn't like a bar.
Was the baby shower happening simultaneously somewhere else?
I didn't realize it was going to be a men's only thing until I realized that like my mom and my sister-in-law weren't there. But then come to find out, they already had the baby shower somewhere else, like previously. So they got double duty.
All right. So that's the Rally of Rochester 10 driven by Tri-City Cars. And unless his cousin has another baby, Corey might be there next year.
Yeah.
One other thing, I was reminded by our correspondent that we haven't really gone over the NEFA update in a while. I'm going to guess he's in here somewhere, but I thought that would be a good idea since we got a couple minutes. Anybody here planning on playing in the NEFA finals, and do we know where it's at yet?
It's in Skylands.
Oh, wow.
Where is that?
Have we known that for a while? That sounds like something I almost knew.
They announced it maybe a couple weeks ago. Skylands is like Warwick.
Is NEFA finals going to be PDGA approved? Or PDGA sanctioned?
I think it has been the past few years, but I also haven't gone in a while, I don't think.
No, then perhaps I will have to add it to my schedule.
It's always a fun one anyways. If you've been playing PDGA events, you probably get like a random payout that you didn't know about. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I moved out of MA3. A small part, but a part nonetheless.
Warwick, Saturday, November 1st, 2025. Yeah, it doesn't say whether or not officially, but it's a B tier since 2019.
All right.
So
Yeah, I think I played it at 501 3 years ago. I think last year it was during something else, possibly Team Challenge and kind of far away.
it says Devon's.
I think 2 years ago was Maine, which is why I didn't go, because it was really
Devil's
far
Grove.
away.
501 was 2022.
Yeah, makes sense.
And J Park 2021, nothing in 2020, and New England Disc Golf Center in 2019.
Yeah, I think this is my third year in NEFA maybe, and I wasn't able to go to finals either of the other 2 years. Did you say the date of this year? Sorry. if I
November
missed that.
1st, I believe it was. Yeah, November 1st, 2025, Saturday. Warwick Disc Golf Course.
We'll see.
The last one I went, it's not even on that list. It was in Connecticut.
Oh, at Bridgeport?
I think so, yeah. I think the first time I ever played Bridgeport. So NEFA top 5 per division. Women's Pro Open. We got Rose Shertek in first place. Caitlin Clay in second. Catherine Maloney in third. Daphne Chen in fourth. And Cassandra Leoy in fifth. Women's Pro 40 plus. Wendy Boutine, Shayna Pearson, Crystal Putek, Tonda Marston, and Amanda Porter. Women's Pro 50, Dana Litt is the only eligible. MPO top 5. We got Samuel Henderson, Kyle Moriarty in second, Miles Sayer in third, Dylan Capaccioli in fourth, David Fleck in fifth, and I'm sure a really close 6 would be Corey.
I'm in there.
Wait a second. No, who is in 6? I think that one's important.
Oh, I don't have it. I'm not looking at the spreadsheet. I'm just looking at the top 5 thing.
Better not
It's
be
me.
Jamin or Kyle.
Oh, is it? It's Jaimen?
I think Kyle's in 7th, so that's even better.
Justin's in 7th.
Oh.
Kyle's in 9th. Corey is in 13th.
Frick.
Ethan is 20. Adam Nelson 21. Nick Warren 24.
This is a weird McGillicuddy now. I don't know how to.
Sorry.
I'm just going to stick with the top 5. But Evan, feel free to add any local flavor.
Roger.
Mixed Pro 40, got Adam Green in first, Elijah Garrison in second, Adam Abruzzi in third, Eric Wilson in fourth, and Daniel Jenkins in fifth. Is there a Jay Gorsage anywhere nearby?
Local shout out Jay Gorsage in ninth. Brian Bickersmith 13th. Craig Cutler 21. Do I know that name?
Yeah, he's from down my way. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
He's just outside the top 20.
Over in the MP50 division, 50 plus, Blaine Faulkner, Bob Kulchik, Mike Lawler, Michael Brook, and Mike Pratt is your top 5.
Greg Kurtz in 7th, Joe Deskolka in 9th, rounding out the top 10. Tim Giardini 14th.
Well, Mixed Pro 60, a couple names you've already mentioned. Kerry Powell's in first, Greg Kurtz in second, Tim Giardini in third, Craig Steffen in fourth, and John Hart in fifth.
That represents the entirety of MP60.
Oh, okay. Women's Amateur 1, we got Allie Lawler in first, Emily Braun in second, Julia May Marger in third, Megan Mercier in fourth, and Marcia Focht in fifth. Any other notables?
Nope, there's 9 ladies there.
Women's Amateur 2, we got Kayla Hatch in first, Patricia Murator in second, Caitlin Huell in third, Crotu Elizabeth in fourth, and Emily Braun in fifth.
Nice.
Women's Amateur 3, Lindsay Flamey, Mary Frances Kirschenbaum in second, Becca Powers in third, Katie Alex in fourth, and Heather Penny in fifth. Adina Schutzberg is your Women's Amateur 4, the only one qualified. Brittany Simpson and Shayna Pearson are your Women's Amateur 40 qualifiers. Women's Amateur 50, we got Kendi Ethier.
I think I've played Stony Kill Dubs with Kendi before.
Sue Johnson in second. Mindy Potts, third place. Do you think she plans on playing, Alex? Or any idea?
If I had to guess, I'd say no, but I can always ask.
Tricia DeLapp in fourth. Women's Amateur 55, Sue Johnson qualified. Women's Amateur 60, Marcia Focht in the lead. I wonder what she'll play. She's qualified for FA1 and FA60. Ashley Kennedy in second, Terry Westbrook in third, Sherry Boyd in fourth, and Adina Schutzberg in fifth. MA1 got Matt Darby, David Pitcher, Anthony Stolo, Aiden Glennon, and Bruce Machete. Would you say Machete?
Muschetti.
Muschetti?
I do think Machete's right.
I think Machete. Yeah, we'll stick with Machete. I don't know.
Alex in 11th, and your name is Blue, which I think means you've played enough rounds to qualify. Tyler the Cannon Gannon in 13th. Cody Kanine in 20th.
MA2, we got Ben Keogh, Chris Yeager, Peter Fitzgerald, Joseph Goyette, and Mike Warner. I'm going to guess Highland Mike Warner.
Yep. 8th place, Logan Akins. 9th, B. Klein. And 15th, Ryan Travis. Is it 148? God, what's his number? 343. I haven't heard or said it in a long time.
Bro hasn't passed a test. Get him out of here.
Dude, I'm on the spot
PDGA
here.
name, then you can't be a podcast.
How about his NEFA number? Anybody know his NEFA number?
1-2, I don't give up.
It's 2637.
Anybody else?
343. No.
Well, okay. MA3, Mixed Amateur 3, we got Jonathan Carasquillo Pena, Patrick Crownover, Derek Stanley, Christopher Mangson, and Jake Oppenheim.
Shout out Eric Struna in 17th.
Qualified or no?
Yes.
At least he's qualified for something.
He makes a hell of a towel.
MA4, we got Nicholas Jimenez, Paul Wagner, Patrick Crownover, Brian Boyle, and Douglas Bardot. Anybody else?
Nope, that's it.
MA40, Jason Lunn, Elias Cantos, Michael Sullivan, Nick McGuy, and correspondent Joe Karen.
Right on Joe's heels, Terry Hudson in 6th by about 14 points. And then yours truly, I am in 11th place, and I am qualified. So maybe this will be the year. We'll see.
It's worth it just to play the Skylands courses.
Yeah. I think the way they did it before is that the top 50% of qualifiers got like the first round of invites available. And I don't think I made that last time. And then I think by the time it came around, I did get invited, and there was openings. But by that point, something had come up schedule wise. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go this year. I think it would be fun.
The first year I qualified, I was literally last place as far as qualifiers, but I qualified and I made it in. But that was like a decade ago. So MA50, we got Jim Assam, Jamie Perrone, Kenji Klein, K. Klein, Mike Grondin, and Dan Rabinowitz.
Shout out Pete Cornish in 13th.
Didn't he fix a T-pad or something not too long ago?
Heck yeah.
All right.
Pete's the man.
Absolutely. MA 55, Jamie Perrone, who's also qualified in 50. Jim Assam, also qualified in 50. Kenneth Ingalls, Bill Andrews, and Steve DeKay. Mixed amateur 60 plus, Bill Andrews, James Maloney, Rick Williams, Pete Cornish, and Carl Molatoris.
Yep, Molatoris.
Oh, hey.
He's the scuba diver for Maple Hill, and he's also the guy, if you watch the Aerobi Epic video on YouTube, that's Carl Molatoris.
Shout out, Carl.
Absolutely. Mixed amateur 65 plus, Michael Samond, Douglas Bardot, and Sven Doling. Teddy O'Connell Cope is the MA Junior under 15, and mixed amateur 70 plus, Mike Salmond and Rick Williams. I don't see Kevin Kroenke on there.
I'm thinking maybe he didn't renew his NEFA, or I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate.
What wasn't Kevin always the one commenting on disc golf scene posts about if this event was neat? Oh, I know that was actually Terry Hudson. Never mind.
Yeah, no, that's definitely.
Did we say Terry Hudson's name
Yeah, he's right behind Joe Karen in MA 40.
in top 5?
Joe is 5, Terry is 6.
Ooh, come on, Terry! You can't be putting all that effort into making sure things are NEFA events and then not be top 5, and then even worse, be behind Joe Karen.
It's close though. He's right behind him. I feel
How
like
many
I said all
points
this
about?
already? About 14 points, give or take.
Is that what you said last time?
Off the top of my head, that's what I said about 3 minutes ago. Yeah,
Oh, well, we don't always listen.
that's
Oh,
fine. You can use either of those and clip it together into the
Whichever one
perfect
sounds
recap.
better.
Exactly. Oh man.
All right, that's your NEFA update. So next week we'll probably do a Discap Tag update to keep everything in fair and balanced, because that's what we do here. We got Craig Bassick and Tim Jackman, shot a -8 at Gunks Monday Dubs. Logan Farine and RJ Chirkis shot a -14 at Camp Gaw Dubs. Colonial Acres, Chenandler Harvey and Matthew Bauer shot a -11 to win. And Levi V, as a Cali, looks like, shot -16 at Saratoga Spa Random Dubs Week 19 back at SPAC. Sean Velastro and Sean Healy shot a -12 at Warwick Tuesday Dubs to win. Sebastian Arango and Tyler Sackett shot a -4 at Kisco Tuesday Dubs. Wilcox Tuesday Dubs, Dylan Brown and Max Horowitz shot a -13. And Jaimen, it looks like you've got a handicap or no?
Yep, I have a handicap, and it's terrible.
But John Furman, he won, right?
Yeah, he did great. I think he beat his handicap by 4. And he's a guy that's like always kind of working out there to get better. So it was a cool thing to see whenever he does well.
What did your handicap beat you by?
I think 3. But yeah, I think my handicap was like +8. So everybody else at league is having strokes taken away, and I'm having 8 strokes added to my score.
When you walk up to T1. That's awesome.
Which is, that's the whole point of handicaps, but it doesn't make it more fun.
There's nothing fun about a debilitating handicap.
I understand the concept of handicaps, but if I'm walking up and I know walking on the hole 1, I got 8 strokes, I'm a little lighter in the feet than if I walk up and I know I got 8 strokes the other way. There's a definite difference, I feel.
Yeah, that's fair. I do better when like I have a reason to focus. Like if I'm just like practice putting or something, I don't putt as well as I do in a tournament because I'm not focused on stuff. So it kind of helps me have something to strive for, which is good.
Absolutely. Corey, what about J-Dub's Points Championship Week 22?
Yeah, it was a big week. We were playing Jay North, had a couple of weeks of carryover from Birdie Banks. I don't remember specifically what holes they were, but it was a pretty hard birdie bank. I think me and Danny Parton, we were paired together. We missed hole 13, which meant we had to get all the other holes. And in that all the other holes category was hole 27, the par 5. And I'm not lying when I say I literally helped none. Danny Parton solo birdied the par 5 with like a 75-foot putt, 80-foot putt maybe, to basically secure the birdie bank for us, which was worth $45. Brendan Sisk and Justin Muccelli came in 3rd place with a 6 down. Jason Lasasso and James Scow came in 2nd with a 7 down. Me and Danny took the win with a 9 down. James Scow also hit the $14 CTP, but the biggest payout of the year came when Justin Muccelli, after literally complaining, or maybe not complaining, but like talking about how in the league an ace is worth 10 season points, he throws hole 22, which is hole 21 is the downhill whale tail par 3, and then you kind of come back up to still like a little forehand shot, and it was dead center. If it didn't hit the basket, it was going to be parked. But yeah, Justin Michelli hit the ace worth $369, I think, which is good because now I don't have to worry about what to do with, $450 worth of ace pop money at the end of the season. So
you get 10 points added onto your score if you hit an ace?
you get 10 points added to your season point total. Yep, if you hit an ace.
And you get paid for it?
And you get paid for it.
Man, I should just go every week and hit an ace.
I mean, the 10-point thing makes a lot more sense when it's not like the projected winner getting it. It's a pretty good catch-up mechanic for what it is, but...
What's the average winning score? Like, how many points does the average winner get in a week, would you say?
These days, like 18 to 20.
Okay, so if I come in dead last, I'm getting half of what the winner can get. Okay.
If you come in dead last, you're getting 2 points, just for showing
Okay,
up.
so I'd get 12 points. So...
If you aced, yeah.
Like you're saying, it's a great catch-up mechanic if you're there every week and you're not necessarily winning. But I could also see I still like it.
I didn't think about this before. I don't know how Disc Golf Scene calculates this. I don't know if that's a 10-point bonus to your week score or if it's a 10-point bonus just to your overall points, because we drop 8 rounds out of 28 if you win every week.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically...
If you're winning a bunch, it could be a dropped week.
Yeah, highly unlikely, but I'm not sure how that works out.
Well, what place did he come in this week?
Third. So he got 10 points. Luckily for Justin, he has 10 weeks under 10 points. I don't know if I'm thinking about this correctly right now, but anyways, this scenario will not apply to him.
It's nice somebody hit it though.
Yeah, I'm fine with Justin hitting the ace. I would have preferred giving the money to somebody else maybe, but he shows up every week, so he's definitely put his money's worth in there. And
do you hold any back, or does he just get the whole ace pot?
I give him the whole ace pot. Yeah, I don't know. I'd kind of go back.
So next week, if 10 people show up, it's $10 is what I'm asking, I guess.
Next week, if 10 people show up, it'll be $10, but Justin has agreed to pay for pizza. So on the way to the park tomorrow or on Tuesday, I had picked up a big sheet of pizza for whoever shows up.
What layout you playing?
We're playing Jay West, and if you pay attention to how the sunsets have been going, we're losing daylight quick. So we're starting at 5:30 this week, and probably the last week we do that. And for the final weeks, I'm not sure how much we'll be playing in the woods either. It seems like we're always getting screwed with numbers of people and having to play 5 or 6 sums, and then Jason gets put on that card and has to finish in the dark. So I need to try to avoid that situation.
Well, you heard it here last. Jay West and pizza if you show up 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Awesome. Peter Newland won the Port Jervis Disc Golf Fall League 2025 Week 1. Alex and Randy, I didn't see at Stony Kill random dubs. So Tim Golden and Rory Tice took that to their advantage and shot a -10 to win. Deadbeat dubs, 6 players shot a double front. Dave and Mike tied Derek and George at -9. Disbeat Club, there was a tie. Joey Harrington and Susan Gallagher tied there. Friday, Skylands Friday Handicap League, Tibor won one division and Eric Pine won the other. I don't know, one's APL, the other's BPL, but they both ended up at -3 with their handicaps. Eric Bossenbrook and Mike Strickrod shot a -13 at TGI FDR dubs. Port Jervis Disc Golf Club Fun Day Friday doubles. Quinn Powell and Joy C shot a -8 to win. Justin Winter and Dan Perry shot a -9 at SPW Dubs League Club Dubs. And Rocky Batty 5 and Craig Celeste shot a -13 at Long Island Sunday Double. Anything we missed as far as leagues and such?
I do have an update for the Battle Royale if we want to go through that real quick.
Why does nobody tell me till the end, guys?
Come on, guys.
It'll be quick, I promise.
I didn't mean to ask about it earlier. Who were you playing?
I was up against Travis Bushore.
Where'd you guys play?
We ended up playing at J Park. We went to J West. Pretty simple. We were both pretty familiar with the course and pretty happy with that one.
Have you let Brandon Klein know the results, or are you going to get me in trouble again and have him wait till Thursday?
I did tell him the results. He doesn't have to wait for the release. Gorgeous day to play disc golf today. We played earlier today on Monday. Had a relatively strong start. We both definitely parred the first hole out of the car because we both warmed up until we were very ready and didn't make any mistakes on that first hole. Just kind of pushed along. I took a couple of holes. He took a couple back. And then on the back 9, I just kind of pulled away. Ended up winning 2-1.
Wait, what? You won?
I did win. Yeah, I beat Travis.
Oh, Brandon messaged me, said me and Alex are the next match.
I'm Alex.
Yeah, he eliminated Travis.
Oh, right.
You lost
Sorry.
the match. He had to win his match to play you.
Yep, I had that. Okay. So we're playing J Park again, huh?
And then one of you gets to play Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I continue my streak of birdieing difficult holes and just, totally not birdieing easy holes. So things like hole 11, 250 feet straight at it, nothing in the way. I took a par on that hole. And then hole 14, 250 feet with 3 billion trees in the way and as far right as you can get off the fairway. I birdied that one on a circle's edge putt. So I don't even know how it goes anymore. I get the difficult ones and don't get the easy ones. But it was enough to get me the win.
Very nice. So you got Corey, and the winner of that plays Jason. Now, you guys are still in the green. So what are your courses eligible?
We've got J Park, West or South. We've got Heiser, Moreau, Greenville, or Burbine. Somehow, I don't think we'll be going to J Park for this one.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
I think Corey might have just a little bit of an advantage at that course.
So you want to play one of the other wooded holes? They're all wooded courses, Alex.
Yeah, but
Let's go to Burbine.
I would go to Burbine.
Oh, okay.
Burbine's a pretty cool one.
All right.
We got to figure out a time to do it, though, because it's like an hour for me.
Yeah, me too.
But now is not the time for that. But we'll figure it out for sure.
All right. And it looks like the AM division, 2 players left in the semifinals for the winner's bracket is Kevin Wen and Terry Hudson. As far as here, it looks like Kenji has to play, is it Kyle? Who?
Kyle Moore.
Oh, Kyle Moore. So Kenji against Kyle Moore. The winner of that plays Aaron Holpe.
Correct.
Okay. Josh Lee and Jamie Borge.
Yep.
The winner of that plays Greg Kurtz.
Right. And so those are the 8 remaining people in the AM bracket, the people you just named.
Okay. So we got 8 in one bracket, 3 in the other. Let's see which one finishes first. I mean, a week or so ago, I would have thought easily pro, but, there's some foot dragging around here. I don't know about that.
Yeah. The good news is I think as the 3 people left, I think we're all guaranteed some amount of cash at this point.
I think so, yeah.
And the top 8 for AM, the ones that are left, should get some kind of trophy, I believe.
At least a trophy. I think some amount of cash as well, but I'm not sure.
All right. You guys got time for a quiz or no?
Yeah.
All right.
I
We'll
do.
only do 2 rounds. We got 5. What do we got?
Ah, shit, I was counting Pat.
My initial thought would be 3 versus 2, unless somebody wants to really go Cali.
I would say maybe, who would be the strongest two? Some Randy and Evan, Alex and Evan?
Well, if you're thinking that way, Jaimen and Corey, why don't you guys team up to pick a partner?
Ah, yeah. Jaimen, who are we feeling like today?
What are the best acronyms? That's what I'm thinking.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good way. C and J. It's not a good one. We're not.
You could do ACE.
How much Polish do you know?
Yes, consonants. Let's just take Randy. Let's take Randy.
Let's
Ruin
Randy.
Randy's night.
Yeah.
He's been too upbeat.
So JC Bobandy?
Yeah.
All right.
JC Randers.
Randy, you'll be proud. I downloaded the Merlin app over the weekend.
Ooh, nice.
Yep. There was this bird at Squam that wouldn't stop squawking, and so I downloaded the app, and as soon as I did, it stopped.
Was it never mind. Was it a pileated woodpecker?
No, I know that's the tropical sounding one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know some things. This one was like, wow, I've never even heard this before, and it won't shut up. And then, yeah, it's a mystery.
We'll never know.
Nope. I also saw an interesting turtle. I'm actually going to send it to you right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I didn't realize you were turtly enough for the Turtle Club, Jaimen.
Is it true that it's turtles all the way down?
This turtle also has a legit turtleneck.
Well, they all do.
Shh. No, you'll see. I just sent it to everybody.
I've not seen that type of turtle before.
Right? It looks like a snapping turtle, but didn't act like one.
It looks half circumcised.
It's got a turtleneck, Corey. Go with it.
All right. So Evan and Alex, you guys get the first category choice. Got category 1, category 2, or category 3.
No preference.
Number 1.
All right. Question 1, category 1. What canid, known for its reddish-brown fur, bushy tail, and reputation for being sly or cunning, is a common character in fables and folklore? What canid, known for its reddish-brown fur, bushy tail, and reputation for being sly or cunning, is a common character in fables and folklore?
Sounds like a fox to me.
Feels like a fox.
You guys agree?
Go. Yep.
We do.
Is the fox a disc?
Seems like a really, really good disc name.
Probably is my answer, yeah.
I can't imagine we've gotten this far in and we've gotten spider monkey, but we haven't gotten a fox yet.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard to imagine.
Let's go yes then.
You guys agree?
Yes.
Hang on, Pat. Wait, hang on. Innova Champion Disc 2025.
NEFA Champion Disc, July 21st, 2025.
What? Like a couple weeks ago?
Star Fox, baby.
How?
We're back.
Yep, I got to throw it. Jess got some. We were throwing them at the birthday party like 2 weeks ago.
When you say Star Fox, you mean like Star Plastic, and it's a Fox, not Star Fox, the Nintendo licensed name.
You know as well as I do that Nintendo would never let someone name something the Star Fox without severe litigation.
Jaimen, Corey, and Randy, category 1, 2, or 3.
I say 2.
Question 1, category 2. As a noun, what word can refer to one's emotional state? As a verb, it means to make glass stronger by heating and then quickly cooling it. As a noun, what word can refer to one's emotional state? As a verb, it means to make glass stronger by heating and then quickly cooling it.
Temper?
Yeah,
Yep.
temper.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is the temper a disc?
Well, the tempo is, but is the temper? I want to say yes, because I feel like we've talked about there is like some emotion line of disc, but also...
Yeah, Axiom has a bunch of them, but I haven't heard of a temper, and I feel like I would have heard about it.
I don't think Axiom would do temper when there's a tempo either.
Well, they've got the tantrum.
No, but it's like just it sounds the same.
Ooh, the temper and the tantrum in one bag. All the fucking rage boys would love that. No tree is safe. Damn, I feel like I talked myself into it. I say yes. Flip your coins.
I don't love it, but
Yeah, I vote no on this one.
Going no, Pat.
You guys agree?
yep.
Forged Discs, July 28th, 2025.
You idiots.
Oh.
Temper is a dual meaning word. You got hung up on the emotion part.
That's fair.
Even newer than the Fox. Evan and Alex, category 1 or category 2?
Temper was a 2, right?
Correct.
Yes.
I don't know. You got a preference?
1.
Let's go 1.
Question 2, category 1. In the Ice Age films, the acorn-obsessed scrat is a fictional saber-toothed species of what rodent? In the Ice Age films, the acorn-obsessed scrat is a fictional saber-toothed species of what rodent?
I'm pretty sure he's a squirrel, right?
I think so. My wife loves the movie Ice Age, so I can picture the character. And if it's not a squirrel, I'll be a little surprised.
Yeah, same.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Is the squirrel a disc?
Well, I'm pretty sure this flying squirrel is.
Yeah, I want to say I'm pretty sure I've heard of a flying squirrel as well.
But that's a different thing, right?
It is a different thing, but it would indicate that someone either already took squirrel or, I mean, maybe you'd go flying squirrel just because, you know, the flying connection.
The Rocky and Bullwinkle connection.
My instinct was yes. Maybe I was thinking of the flying squirrel, but I feel like it's a good enough answer to go yes.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
You
Let's
guys
go
agree?
yes.
Yep.
Okay, I forgot about the flying squirrel. I don't know why. There's also the deranged squirrel, orbital discs. But is that close enough? Other team, what do you guys think?
They did specifically mention the flying squirrel, right? And did you say that? And you said that is a disc?
That is,
That is
we've
a
actually
disc,
used
yeah.
it before. I forgot. I thought I'd double check this. I probably only saw deranged, and
I'm good with it. I mean,
What
unless
was the
like
one I had last week that I had to try to argue that didn't come into play because we weren't tied?
that was dark might, but it was all one word, no
Ooh.
space.
I forget our stance on. Are they called superlatives or are they just adjectives?
I think
My
they're just
feeling, like if it
adjectives.
was like purple squirrel, that'd be easy. But flying squirrel, kind of.
It's arguably a different thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys about deranged squirrel to see if that would work, but I didn't factor in flying squirrel.
it could just
I'd
be a
say-
state of being too. Just happened to be flying at that time.
It's like
I vote
every
no.
squirrel is a flying squirrel if you throw it.
Exactly.
Or they could fall, Alex.
And then
I
become
was talking
deranged.
about the disc, but
All flying squirrels are squirrels. Not all squirrels are flying. I don't know. Is that
Okay, they don't get the point anymore.
Is that a total? Oh, I took myself out of the point.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think they get the point. But
Okay.
Well, Corey said no, so I don't care either way.
Randy, you're the final decisive.
Yeah, Randy, what do you think?
They are very different things, but I think because they identified that the flying squirrel exists, do we give it to them?
Bro, whose team are you guys on? God damn it. I picked the wrong guys. All right, I give it to them. 4-1. Question 2. Let's go.
All right. Which category you guys want? Category 1 or 2?
what do you think, Corey?
I said 2. All right.
All right, 2.
Question 2, category 2. When dealing with chemical spills, first responders need to be as quick as possible, so they're trained beforehand in what type of suits with a portmanteau name. When dealing with chemical spills, first responders need to be as quick as possible, so they're trained beforehand in what type of suits with a portmanteau name.
Hazmat?
Yeah,
Hazmat.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Is the hazmat a disc?
Gotta be.
Doomsday.
100%. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, no.
All right, Evan and Alex, Category 1 or Category 2?
I don't yet have an idea about 2, so I'm inclined to stick on 1.
I'm happy going with, fuzzy animal category.
All right, question 3, Category 1. When Lewis and Clark encountered what Great Plains rodent, they called it a barking squirrel. When Lewis and Clark encountered what Great Plains rodent, they called it a barking squirrel.
Is it a prairie dog?
That makes sense. Great Plains rodent. Yeah, I like that better than, I don't know, I was thinking not going to say what I was thinking. I do like prairie dog. Let's go with that.
Yeah, let's go prairie dog.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Is the prairie dog a disc?
I was thinking meerkat, but I don't know where in the world, if they're in America or not.
They're not.
They're not? Is that okay, they're international.
Prairie dog does not feel like a good disc name.
So you're not wrong. And I'm wondering why he's picked the animals he did. Is it some kind of cast of characters, and did he find ones that are all discs? I'm thinking too much about it. Prairie dog. All right, I'm with you. Let's go no.
Let's go no.
You are correct.
Nice job.
Good start.
All right, Jaimen, Corey, and Randy, Category 1 or 2?
Are we staying in our lane and standing on business, or are we gonna zag?
I think we stay in 2 for now.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds good.
All right, question 3, Category 2. What word is the name of a type of earthworm that emerges after dark, or a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal as the memorably vile Louis Bloom? What word is the name of a type of earthworm that emerges after dark, or a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal as the memorably vile Louis Bloom?
Nightcrawler?
Yep.
Oh, is that a worm?
Yeah, that would be the worm, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't know it from the movie part. Yeah, Nightcrawler.
You guys agree?
Yep.
Is the Nightcrawler a disc?
Gotta be right.
We're just face rolling. Yes, right? That's it. Yes, all the way.
It's got to be, yeah. All right, we can do that.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
6-3.
Yeah,
No, I think if you tried to name your disc Nightcrawler, I think Marvel Comics would shut you down.
Yeah, I do appreciate that Pat didn't reference Marvel for once in an episode.
I don't think they can
still early.
shut you down for naming something after an animal.
Fair.
All right, Evan and Alex, Category 1, Category 2.
Alex, it's time for Category 2.
You know what it is?
I do now.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, question 4, Category 2. The first Russian port to trade with England was named for what heavenly title of Michael? The first Russian port to trade with England was named for what heavenly title of Michael?
Michael was an archangel.
Yep, and that would fit the idea I have of the category.
Yeah, I think I know it now.
Yeah.
You
All
guys
right.
agree?
I like Archangel.
Is the Archangel a disc?
It absolutely
99%
is.
Sure. Yeah, I was going to say almost definitely NEFA.
First disc I ever threw a Heiser flip. It was beautiful.
NEFA Champion Discs, August 21st, 2001.
2001. Some old ass discs.
Yep. Jaimen, Corey, and Randy, Category 1 or Category 2?
How is everyone's Marvel knowledge?
Terrible, and we're almost out of that category.
Yep.
So we have two trains of thought, right? Either we go with number 2 and try to take them from Evan and hope that we can get the answers not knowing that they're Marvel related.
Mm-hmm.
Or
We've
we
been
go
doing
to
that
1
already.
and try to get some points because we are getting our ass kicked on
No.
this part.
I think we go big or we go home.
So
we,
2?
we stay in 2, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
In the Marvel
Sticking with
series.
Yeah.
Question 5, Category 2. What is the general term for any vintage military aircraft that has been restored and flown for air shows or historical preservation? What is the general term for any vintage military aircraft that has been restored and is flown for air shows or historical preservation?
Start thinking of your Marvel character.
That's what
There's
I was
a-
doing.
Term for that? Antique planes?
As soon as I hear it, I'm going to know it, but I don't know if I can think of it off the rip.
So far, I believe they're X-Men, too, to whittle it down a little more.
Hmm.
That didn't help you guys. Sorry.
No, I know
Wolverine?
several X-Men.
Yes.
But what was it?
They called Wolverine.
No.
Wrong category.
Hold on to that one.
Well, might as well get our re-listen.
What is the general term for any vintage military aircraft that has been restored and is flown for air shows or historical preservation?
Frick.
Professor X's.
Now, I've only seen the first 2 X-Men. I haven't seen, like, X-Men Reborn and X-Men Turn Y-Men or, like, any of the other ones. I have no idea how many X-Men's there are these days.
There's a million.
All right, think of discs. Have we had Juggernaut recently?
I thought a Juggernaut was a boat at one point, but
Oh, God.
Juggernaut.
it's better than anything I've got. I didn't even know there was a term
No,
for
it sounds like you had
No.
more, Randy. What else were the other ones?
Shit. That was kind of it.
Oh, shit.
Gambit.
It's definitely not Juggernaut. I feel
Yeah,
like we might have
Storm,
had that
Mystique,
before,
Cyclopses, darn it.
yeah,
Iron
Juggernaut.
Man.
Juggernaut is literally the only thing that could even has a chance to be right. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, roll with it. Juggernaut.
Yep.
Juggernaut.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yep.
Evan and Alex, what is the general term for any vintage military aircraft that has been restored and is flown for air shows or historical preservation?
The only thing that I was coming up with was Banshee, because Banshee can fly, and it's like a ghost that, if you restore an old airplane, it's kind of like a ghost of the airplane. And this is a very tenuous connection, but that's my thought process.
Well, I was thinking Warbird, which is a Marvel character, but not necessarily an X-Men character.
I feel like you could have Warbirds that were, still in use. Like they're not restored for historical preservation or shows or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like Warbird was a thing. I think that was way back when in the Star Trek category. I think Warbird was a disc.
Or was it not a disc and now it is?
Also technically possible.
I don't know. Banshee didn't come to mind. I'd make sense in the ways that you said. I don't have any Buffalo nickels to flip. Randy, didn't I tell you I was going to keep a quarter?
Oh, you did.
For
you were
this
like,
situation.
Now's the time.
It's out of arm's reach. Yeah, I kind of like Warbird, but if you want to go with Banshee, I will not be. I'm not be opposed to it.
Banshee was what was in my head, but I genuinely don't have any. Like you have heard all of the evidence I have for that, so
yeah,
it's not exactly compelling.
Actually, I'm not convinced it is just X-Men looking at the other answers. So I don't know.
If you're feeling Warbird, let's go Warbird.
I kind of am.
Let's do it.
Okay, thanks.
Is the Warbird a disc?
Wow.
Frick. God damn it. The worst part is I kind of had that in my head, too.
I guess we go with yes because it was in my head as an answer previously, and if it was an answer previously, it's probably a disc now.
It should be. It feels like a great disc name.
Yeah.
Definitely not been an answer previously.
No?
Oh, well, we're still saying yes. Aren't we?
Yeah. I do,
or did he
I do
give
think
us
we're
that
saying
information
yes.
because we said yes?
No, I'm pretty confident we say yes no matter what.
Yeah, I like it.
What company, Evan?
The way you asked me that, I think it should be Lone Star.
February 21st, 2022.
I should buy some of their merch or something. At this point, it's like a thing.
That was a steal. What category? 1 or 2?
You confident?
Yeah, let's
you
finish
confident
it out.
with a 6?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
What is depicted on both the state flags of Minnesota and Alaska? What is depicted on both the state flags of Minnesota and Alaska?
Minnesota. Is this the new Minnesota flag?
No idea. They had a new or old one.
If I remember correctly, Minnesota had a flag referendum like 1 or 2 years ago. And I don't remember which design won, but the only one I can remember has like a star and some stripes on it.
My first thought was a bear, but that's California, isn't it?
California has the bear, yeah.
Alaska. It probably does have stars.
I mean, just star doesn't really make sense for the category, maybe?
Well, if it's trying to... No, it wouldn't just be star. North Star is a character. I don't know. I feel like you have to know the flags to know this one. The fact that it is a Marvel character maybe is kind of just a little helpful nudge, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I got nothing other than my vague memory of maybe there's a Minnesota flag with a star on it.
Oh, wait, what was Minnesota's hockey team? The North Stars, right?
No, Minnesota Wild.
I mean, back in the day.
I don't know.
100%. I think we should go North Star because that was their old NHL team.
Let's go North Star.
You guys agree?
Sure.
Is the North Star?
Yes.
Nice.
There was a Minnesota team before the Wild.
I am not aware of this.
I think they had white and green jerseys.
Is it a disc?
Yes. Yeah, sorry.
Let's go yes.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no.
Thanks.
Dang it.
But they were a hockey team. And Alex, you're right. The flag had changed. I had to reword my question based on the change in the flag.
We're still in this, boys.
All right. Question 4, category 1 for Jaimen, Corey, and Randy. Known for its semi-aquatic nature and native to South America, what is the world's largest living rodent? Known for its semi-aquatic nature and native to South America, what is the world's largest living rodent?
Capybara.
Nice.
Yes.
You guys agree?
Yep.
Is the capybara a disc?
Definitely.
Gotta be.
Yep, for sure.
Elevation Disc Golf, May 26, 2025.
Still in this. 18 down, still possible.
Evan and Alex, what member of the weasel family has a feline name and is renowned for its noxious secretions? What member of the weasel family has a feline name and is renowned for its noxious secretions?
Is that a Fisher cat?
Sure. The only thing I was coming up with was skunk.
You guys agree?
Yeah, Fisher cat.
Jaimen, Corey, and Randy, what member of the weasel family has a feline name and is renowned for its noxious secretions?
Randy.
They kind of got me with the Fisher cat thing, and now I
Yeah, that was a
stopped
good
thinking about it. All right, so it's going to have cat in the name. Skunk is also what I started to write down.
Yep.
Skunk cat.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, weasel family, though.
Yeah, so we're talking wolverines, ferrets, badgers.
Can we get the question again?
What member of the weasel family has a feline name and is renowned for its noxious secretion?
So feline could mean like any kind of cat, right? Like lion, leopard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to think of other. I'm mostly just trying to jog Randy's memory.
I appreciate that. It doesn't have to be like something cat. It could
A
be
weasel with a cat-like name.
meerkats don't have noxious secretions.
I don't know. Maybe they just smell bad.
Can't really think of very many weasels, though, is a problem.
Yeah, I don't know like anything else that has like a smell thing. I like meerkat just because that's the only other thing that.
I know.
Is that
I
a
don't
weasel?
think they smell, and I'm also not completely sure if they're a weasel. They could be a civet for all I know.
Oh no, that'd be the worst.
Can you imagine?
There's that one weasel that starts with an S, a stoat?
Oh, man.
No.
Skunk. Oh, a stoat is a weasel. I don't think they smell.
Nah, it's one of the other weasels I could think of. And this
It's
is
impressive.
Like a cat. I mean, meerkat sounds really...
I think we're going meerkat.
Yeah, meerkat.
Oh, no.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yup.
We were looking for polecat.
Oh, that is a disc.
I didn't know a polecat was an actual animal. I thought it was like a generic term for weasel.
Or for skunk.
Oh.
Innova Champion Disc, January 5th,
slur for a weasel.
1994.
Mm-hmm.
Final question is for you guys, though. That was a steal. What large ground squirrel, known for its loud whistling calls, is often associated with the folklore of the groundhog predicting the end of winter? What large ground squirrel, known for its loud whistling calls, is often associated with the folklore of a groundhog predicting the end of winter?
A large ground squirrel that whistles? I'm going to be honest. I don't know what a squirrel is other than a squirrel.
All right, so
they got
like,
big ones?
yeah, I don't know if we're just going for like a synonym here, like gopher or woodchuck.
Groundhog, woodchuck, gopher.
Is there a type of gopher, like a singing gopher? I just want that to exist.
We didn't have Pat read it again, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm confused about the.
What large ground squirrel, known for its loud whistling calls, is often associated with the folklore of a groundhog predicting the end of winter?
I mean, woodchuck sounds like a bad answer. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to win anyways. But
He said this was for 8 points, so
oh shit!
yeah.
It's Groundhog's Day. I don't understand.
I mean, this is a question 6. I feel like woodchuck is way too easy of a guess.
His name may or may not have been Ivan.
Oh, is it a marmot?
Marmot? That's just another synonym for woodchuck. We're going marmot.
Marmot.
Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Is the marmot a disc?
Okay, so we already got the 8 points, so this part doesn't even matter. So no.
No, it gotta be.
I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna go with yeah. It's got to be. We're just sticking with it.
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, damn.
So close.
A couple of turkey questions at the end. That's cool. 11-6. Does that sound right?
It feels right.
I was gonna say that sounds closer than it felt.
I may have stopped keeping track after a certain point.
Well, the last time I wrote
Wow,
down
Alex.
it was 9-6, so I don't know.
It's 11-6.
Ooh, okay. I didn't get the North Star one in there then.
What was the reference that suddenly made you all get marmot?
Oh, it's Ivan Marmota.
Marmota.
Iman.
Oh, okay. Geez, I am failing my podcast quizzes left and right.
That one tripped me up.
Okay, good.
The second category was they all first appeared in X-Men.
First
Nice.
appeared. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, North Star from Alpha Flight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the one I could think of was Wolverine, and then eventually whatever Randy said, the Halle Berry character.
Storm.
Storm, yeah. Those are like two, and Professor X.
Warbird first appeared in Wolverine and the X-Men. And I tried to do two things. One, I had to make up for last week with Evan because I feel like And then Jaimen always wants me to do a category where I don't reference the freaking comic books, and if I'm going to do a comic book category, so
You guys got
Halfway
the first
there.
3 in that category without knowing that they were Marvel characters. So there you go. It was funny how they predicted next question. Here comes in the Marvel series, blah blah blah. But it never came. Good job.
Looking back, that strategy of trying to go with those really backfired.
I don't think it mattered in the end.
No. It was all about guessing those things wrong.
Yeah.
If you guys had got some discs right, it would have been, I think, a lot closer.
Yeah,
I never
You
got
guys
any.
got a lot of discs wrong in that. Any birthdays coming up?
My sister is the 20th, and that's Del Potts.
I got nobody. I don't know nobody.
Beth Mills.
Yeah, nobody from disc golf. A couple of people from volleyball, but
Mark G was yesterday. He's a Long Island guy.
Kevin McPeak is not local at all, but he is a person I've played volleyball with and also plays disc golf.
Never heard of him.
What's the cutoff date? Is it before next Monday?
Mm-hmm.
We got Benji. Benji's next week, next Monday.
Benji who?
Oh, Benji Farrell.
Oh, I got so many of his discs. I just moved like 5 of them to the donation bin. Sorry, Benji. Been too long. Happy birthday.
Derek Stoltenberg.
Yep, he's a wedge guy.
All right. Anything else? Well, Alex, any updates on Stony Kill?
We'll be doing some coursework as we go. I'm thinking of a couple of small changes that might be tested at the monthly that could be pretty interesting, but in order to get into those, it might take a bit of time. So for now, we'll just say the monthly is this coming Saturday. If you want to do some coursework to help out, we'll be doing that this week. And then the Stony Kill Scramble is the week after that, Saturday the 30th and Sunday the 31st. And we're running out of spaces in those, so get your registration in soon.
All right. And the Shungum Showdown 7 and Cedar Beach Classic, I don't know when, but they might still be open, so check those out. All right. Well, thank you, Evan, Corey, Alex, Randy, Jaimen, and Jason, and Shawita. Hudson Valley. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
I'm like most of my way through of my, I wasn't going to say annual, but as I'm going through some of these discs, I have some of them I've had for years. My purge of the lost and found and like moving stuff that people haven't claimed to the donation bin.
You have one of my discs, don't you?
I do, yeah, your AVR 3. I actually put it to the side. Or AVR X3.
Yeah.
I think I put it to the side. It's over here somewhere. But yeah, I think I had like 300 discs. And by the end, I'm probably going to have 50.
How'd you find that? Or did somebody, do you know who found it?
You threw it in the river, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, someone found it after the jammer and put it in the bin. It looks brand new after it got cleaned. Rock tumbled.
I also keep it in the fairway as much as possible or in the water. So yeah, that'll do it. That's cool. Fortunately, I had another one, but it's one of those color glow. So it's a little different, I guess, but
Probably maybe a little more stable.
yeah, but at this point it's probably where that one was, it's now that's my main one. I'll get that back eventually. I just haven't gotten out to a J Park in a while. I thought about trying to get out there for dubs, but then I realized that's on Tuesday. And Tuesday's the day I do a lion's share of the editing. So I'd be purposely getting behind. You know what I mean? And then I'd be all stressed out. I realized that, was this year the first tracks that was on Wednesday?
The calendar says January. Yeah, it was on Wednesday.
I wasn't sure if it was this year or when, but I just remember being super stressed that whole day. Not worrying about my shots, just thinking, man, that just means I got to do so much more editing tomorrow on a Thursday. I think in January we were still doing a Friday release, I think. Must have been, because
Yeah, definitely.
I probably wouldn't have gone to first, or I would have said, hey, this week is coming out on Friday because I'm going to first tracks, motherfucker. But yeah, no, it's just why put myself in a hole right off the bat? Because like I said, I get so much done on Tuesday. It's like I do probably like 60% of it on Tuesday and a little bit on Monday nights, and then whatever I finish on Wednesday usually now. Evans at something, he messaged me. Oh, it's for whatever reason, it's the last Prospect dubs. That seems early.
I think they just go to like a modified version with daylight and stuff, so they don't consider it like the regular season.
Okay, well, yeah. So he went to that. So, what's Corey's posting pictures in
Make sure you
the,
take out the right 9 in that phone number, Corey.
I'm not even bothering. If some idiot doesn't realize that numbers have 10 digits, because if you don't put the area code in your phone, I'm texting 518. If I don't get a response, donation bin. But yeah, if you put 11 numbers on your disc, then donation bin.
Do you have to dial 9 for an outside line?
Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
There you go. If somebody pulls it out of the for sale bin and it's like, hey, you're trying to sell my disc over here. You're like, prove it. Call that number.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
maybe
518
they're from
area
Finland.
No, it's a country code.
code.
Jamin, are you happy we actually proved that Finland does in fact exist? Or do you still not believe it? after having
Ryan could be a
on?
government plant.
It's true. It's true.
Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
I've seen a war
Great
pigeon.
point.
I don't know.
Yes. That's the entire point, unfortunately.